I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. Is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve. It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future—
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine.
Well...
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed, then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not... Girls arrested.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention.
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, if we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like...
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya! people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing That's...
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
My dear Vache! No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Wait. Who am I? My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember... I also remember going to many... No matter where I went, Vache would go with... But now... we can no longer go back. No! The thought of me gives him no succor. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing... If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of relief. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an end. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless long. I think I hear your companion. Farewell then. I am glad.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navi is outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clarand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not...
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clarand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only—
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means.
What? Your point being that—
Yes.
I will continue in— regardless. Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we try...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were dumb! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. As such, we're still part—
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on a...
All right, you two.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Cool.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when that the Fanta tasted kinda salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink,
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me—
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But that's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us, too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess, too.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose since he saw that young woman dissolve, but he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the— Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, we also have some plans to go over.
Don't worry, you two.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Ad Astra.
Take it easy.
It's right up ahead, but...
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't spotted any...
Very good.
I shall find rooms for...
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's
How was I so...
Useless.
is your base? It's not quite what...
Things have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right?
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose my father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor, instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave the closest piece of info I have, is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless However, I believe that if the murder case, I must know what really happened. Was my... if only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident.
Wait! If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into...
But how could... never mind. If
There is one other thing.
Oh! Her? Well, then... Isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah. That's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters.
Paimon gets the feeling, but...
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having...
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped. I suspect that those...
Does that...
No. There, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming?
No, it's not. The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is...
This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who...
See? They've got...
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even...
Of course. Don't worry.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief...
Thanks so much.
Please come in.
Just what will we come across this time?
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my map.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case. Yet in your eyes, the value of a human... If you truly regret my father's death, why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let everything was hanging on a thread at that moment? Just the tiniest effort could have changed. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned in... Yeah! And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to...
Yeah, we're gonna...
Do you want to go with me now? Great.
This trip has allowed me.
Let's go get ourselves some answers.
I can do it.
Let's do this.
We can do this!
Whoa! What a huge ship!
There's no need to be so surprised. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a... Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewer. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself...
Well, Poisson is where... Strike!
I'm just saying, if you play with fire...
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and you said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. You still remember, right, Maloose?
Yes, the case was quite similar.
Could you tell us a...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called at a glance...
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink Synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus, and if you were to stop, as he oversaw
Boss is uncompromised. Not only that...
Yes, recognizing that. The man's name was Jacques that night. But then...
Huh?
Sounds just like Lenny. Looking back on it, though. Precisely. But, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empath. I think this third person is... On that note, however... Even though our opponent is... Even though Spina di Rosula... There is no need...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still... Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day. And certainly, I want to find...
Navia.
This is indeed...
So you do know something else, Maloose?
Yes, I do. But what drove...
What?
And the serial disappeared. 5 years, knowing all of this. But as long as you... If something were to happen...
Right. So...
As we've seen, bosses...
No. I don't believe it. He never...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard. Especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful.
So he chose to die?
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling, I'm sure he'd...
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I... Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully... He rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. And this... Maloose, What was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location when he was threatening the enemy. But if you want to,
Why? If we know where the place is...
you mustn't forget that we're fighting against... There's no telling what, but a single... The worst case would be...
Then, in that case...
Well, you saw one of the...
But things are...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced orders to the... If the vendors didn't... After several rounds of... The first is...
Huh?
Yes, surprise. Thanks to his position. There's someone else like him, too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild. In the beginning, they...
So...
Yes, you can... It's a bit difficult.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information. Although the guards... Since Thierry...
I see. To think that...
If you want to invest...
Of course.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving bosses after that incident, Jacques, if it might help.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work...
It is settled, then.
Thank you for arranging...
Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like...
I'm sorry that I only...
If it's a...
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand.
I didn't know how to... I know.
I'm sorry. On the matter regard...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me he had many regrets. So when Mr. He tried to be a...
They found out...
Papa didn't say... Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was... I don't know that for sure. But you could say that... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Caliph, even if...
But Mama, Papa always...
Well...
Yeah.
Then you should hold on, regardless of...
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think that's... the...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard of...
Yeah, I've heard.
It also... After my partner here put... Can you do me a favor?
After that, my first reaction was... But when I got...
So you also remember 2 gun...
Indeed. Reason being, Mr. But according to the... About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was...
At least from our... The gun he was holding?
Yeah, that makes a lot... But hold on. He didn't even want... Did he lose all faith in...
About that, I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say, many people have laughed at me for still calling him But it was Mr. Caliph, no matter what others might say. He'll always... be the man.
Don't worry. You and all...
Thierry, it's me.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there is...
I mean, where Callus did a fantastic... It would be next to him. Anyway.
Ah, yes. What happened at the op...
Ah, if you want to go...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, so... if you, hypothetically...
If I had to make an analogy... When you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make removing a syrup, so I can promise, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Mars.
Sure. I will...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I...
Oh, it's all right. I just wanted to talk...
Yes,
Oh!
that's right. I also witnessed to beat the Hydra...
Oh, I'm under...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is.
Uncle Marcel, you've also...
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid...
Oh,
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial... If not for the vigilant...
Alas. But rest assured, if anyone dare...
Thank you, Uncle Mark. Do you have any new thoughts on my father?
The confrérie was... Then I heard the sound...
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. Just that all my wealth comes from...
We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Anyway.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right.
According to Jacques' family...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Makes sense. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been... It's obvious that our enemy has become... Thierry, you say? Huh. But... I didn't...
Yeah. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out.
Florent? But...
So you're saying...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he... Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confederate... Still really hard... Also... Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel isn't...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
The suspect is knowledgeable. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the god?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him.
Well... he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the...
Wait, how? None of our investigation...
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support...
Right.
Yeah. And
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base. What? You're right. This is our best I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.